Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, my subscribers on YouTube, my peeps on Facebook, and NHL fans on House of Nerdum. It is the DOUG here for his 2014 Stanley Cup Finals, aka the Stanley Cup title game pick. Now, this will be the 121st year of the Stanley Cup, despite the league's reenactment prior to the season, and the changes to the structure of the playoffs. As we all know, this year's playoffs were done a little differently. The championship series will remain the same. The Eastern Conference playoff champions, New York Rangers, will play against the Western Conference champions, Los Angeles Kings. The Los Angeles Kings have home ice advantage in this series, as the Kings finished with a better regular season record than the Rangers. The series is scheduled to start tomorrow night and should end on June 18th, being the date for Game 7 if it is necessary. It is the first meeting between teams from New York City and Los Angeles for a major professional championship since the New York Yankees and the Dodgers played in the 1981 World Series. 1981 was also the last time the Rangers and Kings had met in the playoffs. New York defeated Los Angeles in the preliminary round of the 81 Stanley Cup playoffs. Now, as far as for the New York Rangers, this is their 11th appearance in the Stanley Cup Finals, and they will seek their 5th Cup championship overall, and the first one since 1994, 20 years earlier. And by the way, the Rangers were also the first team since the 72-73 Blackhawks to advance to the Stanley Cup Finals without a four-time captain. Now, of course, in the first round of the playoffs for the Rangers, they eliminated the Flyers in 7 games. Then, unfortunately, they eliminated my Penguins, which they overcame a 3-1 deficit with Pittsburgh Bastards. And then the Rangers defeated Montreal. And by the way, the Rangers became the first team to ever play 2 7-game series in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs and still reach the Stanley Cup Finals. So congratulations to the New York Rangers on that note, since that is somewhat of an accomplishment. And that is no lie on that one. As far as for the Los Angeles Kings, this is their 3rd appearance in the Stanley Cup Finals, seeking to capture their 2nd Cup championship after winning it in 2012. So yay for that. Now, of course, much of the core players from the 2012 championship team has remained on the team. Los Angeles made a late regular season trade on March 5th, as many of you know. The Kings finished the regular season in 3rd place in the Pacific Division. Facebook, go away for a minute, with 100 points. Los Angeles then needed 3 consecutive Game 7s to advance to the Cup Finals, breaking the just previous mentioned Rangers Game 7 record just a couple days before. They became the 4th team in NHL playoff history to come back from a 3-0 deficit to win a series, defeating the Sharks. The Kings then eliminated the Anaheim Ducks, and then just recently defeated Chicago Blackhawks this past Sunday, which probably made the CM Punk fans cry, which I think is hilarious. Like I said, this starts June 4th in Los Angeles, and then again on June 7th. Then after that, Game 3 and 4 will take place in New York City June 9th and June 11th. June 13th, if it's necessary, will be in Los Angeles. June 16th, if necessary, will be in New York. And if it does go to a Game 7, it will be on June 18th, like I previously said. Also, some other notes. This will be the 3rd playoff meeting for these 2 teams. Rangers have won on both of the previous playoff series. It was, like I said earlier, the last time was in 1981, a best-of-5 series, which the Rangers won 3-1, but that was a long time ago. And things have changed since then. And during the regular season, the Kings and Rangers split this year's 2-game regular season series. And by the way, like I've already said, this is the 3rd finals appearance for the Kings in the 2nd in 3 seasons. Like I've already said earlier as well, the Rangers are making their 11th and their 1st in 19 seasons. So it's going to be interesting to see. And by the way, this is the first time a Norwegian, I believe I'm pronouncing that, or Norway player, will be appearing in the finals, and he's part of the New York Rangers. So congratulations to that feat. By the way, most of these games you can watch on CBC or NBC or NBCSN, depending whichever one it, just look them up. As far as for my pick, it's going to be very interesting to see who people pick on this one, because both teams you could not go wrong with picking on this case. I mean, as much as I've hated the Rangers this whole playoffs, pretty much, they have been doing well, and I can admit that. But the question is this: if it goes to a Game 7, can they win? That's going to be the question. Because the Kings, we've seen the Kings win all 3 of their Game 7 games, and most likely they were all on the freaking road. Let me repeat that again. They were on the road. Kings have home field advantage, though. So that makes things a little bit interesting. Just a wee little bit. Granted, which I find freaking hilarious. That's one thing that the Kings did, because they pretty much had to win all the Game 7s on the road, which that's an accomplishment in itself. So, let alone, that should be applauded. But as far as for my pick, after going back and forth with it, looking at the negatives and positives, I got to go with the Kings on this one. They have shown where, when it comes to Game 7s, and Rangers have as well, the Kings know how to win on the road. Now, the problem is going to be this: since Game 7 is at home, Rangers may be able to do what the Kings have done this whole playoffs. We shall see. But I think the Kings will win this one, but I think it's going to be in 6. Just because that would be, Rangers home field and Kings would be the away team. So I'm going to say Kings in 6. This should be a very interesting title game. And I'm going to say something here. Because, everyone's been talking about this, and, well, no one's been talking about this pretty much half the time, in the NBA playoffs. I'm going to be honest, for the second year in a row, at least to me, the Stanley Cup playoffs have been better than the NBA playoffs. So because of the fact that the NBA playoffs have been, well, boring. Excluding San Antonio's right to the playoffs. I mean, Miami Heat, let's be honest here, Miami Heat had an easy run, which that's in a whole nother story for another time. But like I said, I'm going to take the Kings in this one in 6. Let me know what you think. Do you agree or disagree? So good luck to the Rangers and good luck to the Kings. May the best team win, and I hope you guys enjoy. See you next time, folks. Woo!